Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case. We've got some breaking news, all kinds of things going on at this moment in time of recording. This was done before the interview, the 2-hour one on Partners in True Crime, just in case you're wondering. So what's gone down just recently? Well, a person called Jan on the Presgrove Army Facebook page, their post, their negotiations and offers have been taken down, removed. More about that in a second, the backstory behind it and why it's so significant, because you can tell by the title of this video, it does link in with that. But on top of that, because of my video coverage and repetition to the key to mastery, it's also led to new answers coming out, revelations, very interesting updates on the matter of Noah Presgrove, what really happened to him. Not the death part, but Saturday onwards with the party. I'm going to be revealing it to you all today. Now, of course, you can share your reactions, thoughts, you can compare and contrast later on in this live premiere when it's available in the live chat to see if any of this links in with that later interview. Okay, I'm speaking ahead of time at this moment, so bear with me. And if necessary, as a heads up, if that 2-hour interview needs to be looked at, addressed, analysed, I'll try and do it. But I might do it part 1, part 2, because 2 hours long, probably be 4 hours long if I started covering it. So I just thought I'd give you a warning in advance. But welcome to those that are watching this live premiere. Feel free to share your thoughts in the live chat box. And if you're watching on catch up, anyone, leave your thoughts, comments and feelings down below under this video. Just let me know your reactions to it. Do you think it's significant with Jan's post being removed all of a sudden? Has there been a breakthrough? Has someone confessed? You never know. And I want to know your thoughts on the timeline as well with Noah Presgrove, which we'll be looking at later. So there is an order to how we do things today. We're going to be looking at the Jan situation first, then followed by the revelations and the interesting feedback given ever since my recent coverage and questions, and just points which have been answered or countered, which is good to see. Down below as well, before I forget, you'll find a pinned comment by me with some additional links if you do want to support this channel. And credit shout out to, is it Rebecca or someone like that who supported the channel just recently in the background. Very positive to see. And if you are interested in previous coverage, and the video I did last night and the night before, very deep, very important, you don't want to miss out. Top right corner of the screen where the eye symbol is, click there. You find the drop down box menu for those videos to catch up on, and the entire playlist of the Noah Presgrove case, which I've covered single-handedly on YouTube almost every single day. And we try and keep that up at this moment in time. So the backstory behind Jan, it's not like you can get a post here and there to say this is what was once shown, but I can describe it to you from my memory. Though, arguably, I believe I did document what Jan had to say in a Facebook post when I was doing my previous video, but I think that was some weeks ago, and it was within another video. So that being a video talking about in general, or the topics, other things, themes about the case, and I slipped it in here or there. I didn't do a dedicated video, so it's not easy to find. I did try. It's probably like finding a needle in a haystack, but if you used to go back to my previous Noah Presgrove videos, in one of them, the last few weeks, I actually did cover Jan's post on Facebook. In brief, she's just a member of the community, okay, online. But what she was providing, offering, kind of negotiating was like providing funds. I think it's like legal fees, attorney. So for anyone that does have information which could lead to a conviction, anyone that knows anything, those who could be responsible or knows of others who are responsible, if anyone was to come forwards, first come, first serve, and reveal, confess, anything like that of importance, significance, then Jan would give back by offering assistance or an attorney or legal fees in case they got caught up within it when exposing themselves to, well, putting themselves out there and exposing the truth, which could get them in trouble as well, who knows. So it's like negotiating, it's kind of like a plea deal, not officially, but it's kind of like one where You give a bit and they give back. Just negotiate. So all parties benefit. Now, there was a few disagreements within the community here and there where people were saying, you shouldn't be offering anything in the first place. Those people have done wrong. They don't deserve to be rewarded. They don't deserve reward money. They don't deserve legal fees to be paid off for them. They should pay. They should be punished. But it is one of those unfortunate situations where either money talks or other things do. Safety, provided safety, put into some kind of protection thing. You know, if it's of benefit to the individual, if the pressure gets to them, if they break or crack, they can reach out and they can get something in return which could help them in the future. I do understand it. It's probably not the best thing, but sometimes you've got to work with the devil in order to get the answers, and then you can deal with it from there on. Has that actually happened? Has someone confessed? Well, that's what's being assumed at this moment in time. But as you know, people can get ahead of themselves. You need to hold on to the horses or whatever you're holding on to, or the back of someone's hair, and just let things set in and see what happens next, whether it ties in with the interview tonight on Partners in True Crime or not. At this moment in time, it's a bit bland. No answers at this moment. For previous posts and those offers to be taken down, very interesting. People did pick up on it on Facebook quite early on, like a few days ago, and even on Reddit as well. And we'll take a look at Reddit to see from that point of view, to see what people have to say and their reactions, and then I can add on with my own analysis, right? Because all I would just like to add on before we go any further is there was post online offering this and that for answers and people reaching out. You'd only think that those offers would be taken down if A, it expired, and it hasn't, because supposedly the deadline was the 15th of August. I think it's August, the 15th day at least. Well, it's not the 15th yet, but it's been taken down earlier. So something must have happened for it to be taken down, and it must come across as first come, first serve. But what about any flyers, any leaflets that have been put out there physically? Are they going to remain present, public, or not? I guess time will tell. But let's just take a look at the perspective from Reddit and see what they have to say, if there's any additional context. Here we are, credit to Agreeable Cry that posted this 21 hours ago, so people picked up on it pretty quick. Called Jan's Flyers are taken down before the deadline. Now, before the deadline could imply there's been a breakthrough, and that's what most people seem to think. But are there any other possibilities though? Could anyone else, could any of the authorities or anyone else in the background say, hey, can you take that down now? It's getting in the way of the investigation. There's different ways of looking at it, and that's what we do. So this is labelled as speculation/theories because people are in the dark at the moment in time. Things can change drastically with time onwards. This could mean a few things. Hopefully someone has taken her offer, and that's just a screenshot from someone that made the comment observation on Facebook, Presgrove Army. Anyone else know that Jan has deleted all of her posts that she has personally made about her offer, at least on the pages that I'm on? Anyone have a clue what's going on? So the posts have been taken down from the pages. Have they been taken down from her profile? I don't know if I can find their name on Facebook because they had an awkward last name. I don't know how you spell it. If I can get a hold of it, I'll add it in later on in this video possibly. But let's just see the initial reactions from people, and we'll adjust it to the newest. Right, Sweet Guitar says maybe the statements from JF. Oh, JF means Jan, and F is Fiororo. I don't know if it's Italian or whatnot, but just call her Jan. You say that the statements may have been removed by her after getting some negative feedback that the post had possible intimidation, emotional blackmail, and could result in a false confession. There we go, thinking outside of the box, looking beyond. Now, this is the thing. A range of people that I saw, majority were getting hopeful. The hopeful nature of someone's taken the offer and there's progress. But it doesn't always mean to say that there could be other reasons. And like when it's come to interviews and putting yourself out there, it has led to some negative backlash. When it's come to Kathy Bingham as well, putting herself out there supposedly led to negative backlash. So has it now happened to Jan? Who knows? In response though, Traditional says, I've wondered something along those lines as well, that maybe she was getting death threats or just tired of people commenting negative stuff about her when all she was trying to do was help from the bottom of her heart. Maybe the LE has been harassing her. Maybe the stress got too much and she finally said, F it. I hope we're wrong and that her removal is due to someone accepting the offer. Hopefully we'll find out soon. Hannah, this woman is such a saint to publish such an insanely genius proposal. Generous. Probably that's what they meant. Jaded says someone on the Facebook page said that they believe someone took Jan's offer. It's just an opinion. A theory. Someone from the inner circle. What the hell does that mean? The inner circle of the Presgrove Army page and admin? Or someone from the inner circle of the, Stevie Howard, Carter Combs family, whatever you want to call it, the party-goer family. What? Fingers crossed that's the case. Almost an entire year with no answers. Hopefully they finally get them. I posted the screenshot from that post above. Bring in heat. I literally read it last night. What does that mean? You read it last night. What, read the post by Jan? Let's just see. Everything has been taken down that Jan posted as of last night, leading a lot to think someone has come forwards. I'm not jumping on that just yet, I hope so, but no family member has posted they aren't aware of anything makes me second guess. They've not said anything. Crazy, I'd think they don't want to hype up their army for not, but it wouldn't mean they got great news. It would be absolutely fitting for the family to get a time to celebrate a bit without the eyes and media. Lovey, Lord, I hope someone took the offer. I have a feeling it's one of the boys that was with Caden Pressey. So you think maybe Mikey, Brylan or Isaac. Fingers crossed that someone is finally talking. Let's see what else. Intrepid Bird says, or maybe someone more tied into cleanup. Bud's hand, someone on Facebook intimidated that one of the 911 calls sounded like Bud's hand. That's not a fact, but it's interesting. Isn't there still one 911 caller for which we don't fully know the identity? Another caller? I thought it was all cleared up that you had caller number 1, Tyler, caller number 2, an attempt by Tyler Hardy, which was nothing but static, and then the final caller being Tyler Hardy once again, a successful call. I thought that was it. Traditional says, yes, and either Stevie Howard or one of her sisters said on a Facebook comment that the hired hand was the one who woke Bub Wilcoxon up to tell him the news. How did the hand find out? Who is this hired hand? Where do they live? Are they close to that party house property? I want to know. If anyone has answers, leave it down below in the comment section. Ambient Nature Sound says, I hope it was IR, also known as Isaac Rojas. I truly believe he is innocent of any involvement in what happened to Noah, like Caden Pressey, and he remains silent out of fear. And Lovey says, I agree. Interesting bat, except Isaac Rojas wouldn't have any first-hand knowledge of the events that took place if he truly was asleep. Yeah, that's right. And if Isaac wasn't asleep, it turns everything upside down because Caden said Isaac was asleep. So it makes things a bit unbalanced in a way, but take in mind that there would have been supposedly a spell, a long period in which Caden was asleep, but maybe Isaac and Mikey switched places if it was that way, how it was worded by Caden. Isaac, Mikey switched places in between 2:43 up to 5:15. From waking up at 2:43, Isaac, Mikey in a certain position, then at 5:15, switching positions. They must have got up during the early hours of the morning, moved about, right? So technically they wouldn't have been asleep all the time. And when they weren't asleep, Caden was, so Caden wouldn't have seen what was happening. Possibility. Just want to add that in as a possibility. Traditional says true, but he could shed some light on the party, Isaac. environment and what it was like before he went to sleep, what was said in the fight between Noah and Jack. Was the fight in fact over Carter and Noah getting too close? Who else was fighting with Noah? Who are the Texas boys and did they have beef with Noah? When did the Texas boys leave the party? What was said by them whilst they were there? Was Noah really showered by who? Did Noah come on to Avery or vice versa? Did Avery have a boyfriend or love interest there? If a murder or harm was being planned out in advance, I'd think that Isaac would have gotten some kind of clue that at least something bad may have happened later. Were any street drugs being used at the party? Google meth rage. Was Caleb Newton or any of his older sons there at the point? Was Jody Combs, Avery and Carter's criminal father, Jody Combs, JC, ever there? Was Stevie Howard there or out of town as she claims? Were Bub Wilcoxon, his brother Lake Wilcoxon, or his hired hand ever at the party? What does Isaac know about the golf clubs, ATV guns? Was there anything else that stands out to him that could have been used as a weapon, had the capability to cause catastrophic injuries? Example, there's a propane bottle in one of the party pictures shared online. Did he ever see Jack go to bed? Is it true that Noah kept asking to go home? There's a lot of questions, isn't there? Now, some questions, I don't know to what extent, may be answered later on in this video, so make sure to stick around. Who was in and out and what was said and done throughout that last night and before Isaac went to sleep can hold a lot of clues and squash rumours, like Caden's recollections did to a degree. Now let's get two accounts that line up perfectly. I agree with that. Does his account of being awoken and going to the scene and what happened once there match Caden's? Did Isaac see Noah's body? Was he naked or wearing shorts? Was he in a fetal position on his back or twisted and sprawled out as Caden described? This person's only asking questions just for that true consistency, and there's no harm in asking, right? What were the men on the scene saying and doing? Did he see anyone touch Noah? What were the parents or who arrived the next morning saying and doing? Where was his peers saying and doing that morning? Was the vibe under inconsolable grief due to learning the friend was just found dead, or was it an, oh shit, let's get the place cleaned up? Did you ever see Ellie? And if so, did they enter the home or any looking around inside or out? The list could go on and on. Isaac may remember things that Caden doesn't remember and could have been awake at times Caden wasn't. Yeah, fair points. Intrepid says, just said someone from the inner circle took Jan's offer for a lawyer and is talking. Where do you see the comment? Well, isn't it just above? It's so hard to read each and every comment, but thank you for this because I would never have found it. Oh yeah, it's really dodgy, that one, because of weird screenshots and stuff, so we'll just leave it there for now. Cheap, that's interesting. Has she confirmed why? Greeble says, she hasn't said a word on Facebook about it. One of Noah's aunts did comment she hasn't heard anything about someone coming forwards. So this is probably a rumour. So it's interesting how the aunt has spoken out about it, saying she's not heard anything. Crazy. She said she'd sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, if anyone was in agreement. So I'm thinking between the posts saying someone is signing like a Songbird and Jan taking down post, we have Eureka, and that's a fantastic way to end summer. And his Angel, what the hell's that? Anniversary, you mean? What else? She just reposted her post yesterday in Justice for Noah page. Really? Bringing Heat says that Jan reposted her offer yesterday in the Justice for Noah page, and then shortly afterwards she deleted it all. That's even more strange. Like, I can imagine if you put it out there, posted it, advertised it weeks, a few months ago, and then with time, whether it be a highlighted or pinned post, it's then taken down, or several of them. But for Jan to supposedly repost again and again, did it finally catch the attention of someone for the right reasons or the wrong? Makes you think. Interesting. Ambient says, I'm cautiously optimistic. Jan has always said she will keep the person anonymous and doesn't even want to know who comes forward herself. Jan is just facilitating the legal counsel for her own lawyer if someone came forwards. It'll be important for the case and for the person's safety that they remain anonymous whilst Ellie get things in order to start making arrest. We don't want the guilty person or persons to know what has happened been said, or over time line up to new stories, or get to the person who may have come forward and pressure them to recant, change any statements that have been made. Fingers crossed. And that person says, okay, bit random. So what do we do now? I mean, you can share your thoughts down below to what you think about it, the post being removed, the fact that supposedly it was reposted yesterday but then taken away quickly. Whoa, what's this sudden, post this and then get rid of it quick? Is it because someone caught on, like when you're going fishing, you give it one last try, one last attempt? For it to be on the Justice for Noah Presgrove page, although it may not be there now, the Justice page, although heavily moderated and in control with the family or certain family members of Noah Presgrove, it's public, right? So that means the likes of Stevie Howard and Nemlock could possibly have access to it. The comments might be moderated or censored, but because it's more accessible there compared to Noah Presgrove's army, which I think is still private, it might encourage more to go over that way. So if Jan's posting over on the Justice page, people have more access to it and reach, then it could lead to some kind of conclusion, right? So I've just transitioned on to the individual in question, known as Jan Fiorillo, however you say the last name, Italian or not. And whilst this is their profile, publicly viewable, this is supposedly all of their comments, post made within directly the Noah Presgrove Army page, and that's where the offers were provided. But as well, it was on the Justice page too, so I could check that out shortly. But what was the last thing that was mentioned? Recent activity, reacting to Justin Roy's post, liking Justin's comment, responding to Shannon saying, "Girl, you've been busy, great job," whatever that's about. Last thing that was posted within the Presgrove Army group post was 2 days ago, and it says this content isn't available at the moment. When this happens, it's usually because the owner only shared it with a small group of people. Now, can we see the comments though? Hopefully they're going to start arresting people, and that's why it's going to be too late. So the content isn't publicly available because it's only being shared with a handful of people, or because it's being deleted, because that is an option. But regardless of where it's been deleted or not, the comments still remain. That's interesting. As far as I know, it's sad. Nobody has stepped up, period, especially with the offer. With this offer, 5 more days for this offer. Hopefully they step up and do what's right. Okay, so possibly this is one of the posts to do with the offers, and 2 days ago it was, and it's supposedly been deleted since, because you look at the comments, there's some references about it. Sherry, may I ask why there's a deadline of August 15th in terms of the offer? Jan says, call to action. It will have been advertised for 3 months and plenty of time to act, after which I'll be refocusing some of my resources in another direction. Interesting. Can you confirm you're still here? Question, and that was on Saturday. So Jan said, enough time has passed by for action to take place, and it hasn't yet, so there needs to be a deadline so then I can refocus resources elsewhere. Isn't it interesting how days before August 15th, it's now been taken down, the post? So something may have happened, right? That's all that's mentioned there. Okay. Anything else? This is talking about the white shorts. That's 4 days ago. 5 days ago, another post there, which has been deleted since. Awesome post. Homicide, wondering. Someone's got to be really thinking on this, do the right thing and come forth. Content blocked for me in CAN. I'm sure it's good. Can you DM me if you have a chance? What's this? It's her poster she made offering legal help for someone to come forward with the truth. So once again, it's that theme, and once again, it's not available because it's possibly been deleted or it's been shared with only a small handful of people, as it's worded here. There's another one there 6 days ago. So it looks like Jan has been pushing it quite a bit recently. And that's probably because it's getting close to the deadline. So it's like one big final push, right? And I guess on the Justice page as well. But look at that, 30th of July. This hasn't been deleted. My offer to pay for attorney fees is legit. I'm not Ellie and I'm not working for Ellie in any capacity. I'm not working with or for any private investigators. I have no relationship with the property owners, their families or friends, nor any of the social host. Avery Combs, Carter Combs, Logan, whoever, and Jack Newton, and all the families and friends. I'm a private citizen advocating on behalf of the victim, Noah Presgrove. I consulted with 2 different attorneys on the language in my offer, the logistics and potential cost that I could be looking at. I printed 200 posters, flyers of the offer, and personally distributed them in Terrell, Ryan, Warwick, Camacho, Duncan, and have since reprinted another 200. I've taken out ads on Facebook that run for 1 week, and I'll be purchasing more ads the final week before the offer expires. So obviously this person's been very busy in recent time, and for that final week really pushing it out there in hopes of something happening. It's interesting how this hasn't been taken down. My name, my character, my motives regarding my offer have been attacked and ridiculed on the Sofa Sleuths of Oklahoma private group in posts and comments made by anonymous, as well as the known friends and family members to the property owners, social host Avery Combs, Carter Combs, Jack Newton, who claim they offered to want justice for Noah, but have gone so far to discourage, question and pick apart my offer. My question for discussion to this group is why? So there's a possibility that the Sofa Sleuth group in recent time has, and when I say recent time, maybe last couple of days, has been attacking Jan once again. Was that the final straw in which the posts were taken down once and for all? It leans in that direction. And Jan says, and yes, I have the receipts of these comments and posts that have been made, and yes, there are people who have way more money than my husband and I, who can buy us 20 times over. We're just hardworking business owners, nothing special. I'll not be commenting on this post due to some time-sensitive issues going on right now. But please, members, weigh in on why you think this would be happening. I don't need nor want validation nor thank yous or recognition of any kind, so please don't. I just want to know why you think certain people are doing this. So Jan has been under attack in recent time. Interesting. Is that the main reason? Now lower down there are more posts, but I did check and it's not to do with the offers. So this is the only one that stands publicly, at least on this page from what I can see at least. Explaining herself the situation. Purchase flyers. Terrified someone will come forward. This is like 2 weeks ago, right? So a lot could have happened from then till now. We need to acknowledge that at least. The other thing that could be done, and hopefully it works, justice for Noah Presgrove. This is how you can make it work. Rob Dorfman, special announcement, 2-hour special. Right, take in mind, this could be out by the time of my video. I just wanted just to highlight that once again. So within the Justice for Noah Presgrove page, if we type in a name there, will it come up with any post? Post you've seen most recent. This is my Facebook notifications. You can clearly see the picture is of the offer from Jan. When I click on it, it's no longer there. The event is no longer available. Event offer for legal and forensic fees. Okay. 16 hours ago. Pulled together. Did someone take Jan's offer? Looks like a bunch of a post about the offer has been removed. No, Presgrove's Army. Why is it not doing the justice one? I literally typed in justice and it decided to spaz out. I hate it when it does that. So let's just try it one more time. Justice. So this is the family moderated one. Now, will it let me search for something within this page? I think it will. So if I type in Jan Fiorillo, what do we have here? Most recent. By the way, this is all publicly viewable in case you're wondering. I don't know, I just can't get Noah out of my head. It drives me crazy. That boy's so talented, smart. Okay, business flyers. Oh, is that the one? Make a deal before... yeah. Unfortunately, because it's on mobile, it's very dodgy. It should be in the centre of the screen, but as you know, it's just dodgy. So this is probably by Jan that was the flyers, printing them out, pushing them out there, one last big push. And I think I did see this on Facebook, and it's disappeared since, but it's been like reposted by other people in terms of in real life, how it looks, how it's shown. So this is the type of stuff which Jan was getting at, to, final push in hopes of someone reaching out. Thinking about French approaching, nothing by Jan at the moment, and yet it was supposed like a day or two ago. You got these flyers though. So yeah, spread awareness, make a deal before it's too late. Full disclosure. It says, I, Jan for Relo, I'm a private citizen, no way related or associated. We've seen all this just before, but you get the idea. No post by Jan. So it has been taken down, supposedly. What's this? 2nd of August. Shout out to, thank you for support. Oh, is that putting the flyer out? Yeah. So there's communication there. And anything else? Anyone who would like to print the offer poster flyer themselves can download it here, and that was the 1st of August. So it was still kind of being advertised in a way, but more so just the posters. But the posters do tell a story as to, reaching out and what can come from it. So yeah, Jan has still been active. Those posters still there. A couple of them supposedly have been taken down because, as you saw, it had like a locked padlock on, and that would imply that they've been deleted or they've been made private to certain people. I do find it interesting how those are deleted, but the odd one hasn't been deleted, as I've shown you. So it's a little bit all over the place. And with Jan saying previously that she's been attacked by the Sofa Sleuth group, has that been ongoing since? It does make you wonder. So that's something to take away from today's video, put in perspective. I just want to transition on over to some other notes which I've got a hold of to do with the case of Noah. As I said, what would have happened to Noah? What could have happened to Noah Saturday onwards? Kind of eye-opening, some revelations, developments, things maybe you may have never heard of before. Some bits that I haven't. Let me share it with you right now, and we'll try and make sense of the matter. Here we go. We've got a collection of notes, collectively, all put together. The odd point that may crop up is kind of influenced from what's been talked about in the live chat a day or two ago, to do with Noah and the situation of getting back home. But let's look at point number 1. Mikey, also known as ML, as with a surname, last name being Lair, however you say the name. Mikey, also nicknamed Mike Tyson, as you've seen in that footage when Brylan Sweat was talking about him as to in the footage. In regards to the party though, Mikey never attended the party any other day, and he got a ride to the party with Noah Presgrove by Gage Jesson. GJ. Bit of a tongue twister. GJ. Never heard of Gage Jesson before. Has Gage Jesson showed up at the party? Was he hanging out there? I wonder. But Gage did go and pick Noah up. So where was Noah at to be picked up? Well, the original story being at his place of living. And along the way, Mikey being picked up as well. So this is talking about Sunday. So Mikey attended the party on the Sunday and partially Monday as well. Bit of the crossover. But Mikey never attended the party Friday or Saturday. That's interesting. Why is that? Why wasn't Mikey there on the Saturday then? Was he busy? Dove hunting? Who knows? And as for Gage Jesson, first time I've heard his name mentioned. Number 2, Jack Newton called and texted Noah several times Sunday for Noah to come back to the party. Why would Jack have to invite Noah back out there? So yes, I do remember hearing that in the past. Potential red flag. Well, originally it tied in with my understanding originally that Jack Noah had an argument. Noah walked away, distanced himself, got back to his place of living, just happened to be Sunday morning. And then after that, Jack was trying to get Noah's attention and get him back to the party. What, as a means of making up? Come on, come back, enjoy the party. Let's put that aside and move forwards. And Jack having to do it several times, that Noah was angry with Jack, possibly, and just wanted to ignore him. That's one way of looking at it, at least, but things have changed since, because number 3, the key point is, After breakfast on Sunday morning at the truck stop in Warwick, the one what Caden talked about, Noah Presgrove went home to his place to shower. Brylan Sweat, Isaac Rojas, Jack Newton went and met up with Caleb Newton, as Caden said, for some reason. Did they make a plan to do something to Noah later on? Makes you think, doesn't it? Now, Caden's name isn't mentioned within this because Caden, with the girls, went back to the party house and Noah went his own way back to his place of living. But for him to go back home, I guess he would have been dropped off, right? Yeah. Or not. Sunday. Yeah, very interesting because the original story was that Noah Presgrove left the party Saturday night and got back home to his place of living Sunday morning. Ever since that, when Caden Pressey did his interview, Caden Pressey just simply worded it as, when it came to Sunday morning, me and the rest of the friends, including Jack, Brylan, Isaac, Jasmine Logan, Noah Presgrove, etc., all went to Warwick gas station or truck stop to get some food, assuming breakfast Sunday morning. And you remember me questioning it, saying, well, if that's the case and Noah was together with Jack and all that, then obviously that argument didn't mean F all on Saturday night. It wasn't that bad or big of a deal. But on top, I asked the question, well, if it's Sunday morning and Noah left Saturday night to get back home, he didn't have much time to have a shower, a wash and a bedtime, did he? So then be woken up in a short space of time to have breakfast, or I've just got back home. How does any of that make sense? Because supposedly Noah never left the party Saturday night. But the only time he made it back to his place of living was on the Sunday morning time, but after getting breakfast. So it's in a slightly different order now, as it's worded. Yeah, it might time more in line with what Caden's been getting at as for the timeline, but what it does now is turns everything upside down because it makes it seem like that argument on the Saturday wasn't that big of a deal, and it reinforces to an extent that when Jack was saying how they hugged, they cried, and it was all okay in the end, that it makes it seem like that argument was kind of resolved for Noah to still be hanging around Jack and the rest of the guys Sunday morning getting breakfast. So what it implies here that Noah Presgrove never left the party on Saturday. He stayed the night at the party Saturday, at least how it's worded here. And then when it came to Sunday morning, went out with the guys and people to that truck stop to get food. And then after that, went back home to have a shower. And then later on in the day, supposedly Jack was calling him to come back to the party. Now, if that's really the case, then how come Noah Presgrove was able to sleep perfectly fine and okay at the party house on the Saturday, but then when Monday morning came about, when he was at the party days after still, how come on that occasion he wanted to sleep in a bedroom and it didn't work out? He wasn't allowed to and he got supposedly frustrated. So why was Noah able to sleep okay at the party house in whatever condition it was on the Saturday, for him to still be around people on the Sunday, to then late morning time of Sunday after breakfast going back home to his place to get a proper sleep? But then Monday, oh, I can't be sleeping here, I want to be sleeping in the bedroom. It just doesn't make any sense. It's really weird, this. It's honestly really weird. But if we're talking about Sunday morning breakfast, I'm guessing Noah drove to the truck stop in his own vehicle because he still would have had his own vehicle there at the party house going into Sunday morning whilst being at the party, because he got down there the first time round on the Saturday in his own vehicle. And then Sunday, eventually making it back to his place of living, but actually after breakfast. So it ties more in line with what Caden's getting at, makes more sense there, but it turns everything else upside down in terms of the argument not being as relevant from Saturday. It also makes it confusing as to why Noah was able to sleep at the party in whatever conditions Saturday night going into Sunday early morning, compared to Monday morning having an argument and cooling off. Oh God. It's not good, but maybe there can be more elaboration. Anyway, number 4, Saturday night rumour. Noah walked in on Caleb Newton and Avery Combs having oral. And rumour, Noah made fun of Caleb about it. Rumour, right. Number 5, Noah on Saturday night in front of a lot of people called Avery Jo a fat nasty bitch on her birthday, and it really pissed off her and embarrassed her. I think she invited some of her Texas boys' family from Bowie to help beat up Noah on Sunday night, Monday morning. Ah, right. So Texas boys not there Saturday. She's making fun of by Noah supposedly, then decides to possibly get revenge the next day, Sunday, going into Monday, for Texas boys to come on down, the catalyst for them being invited in the first place. A theory, but you never know. But what I would like to say is, if Noah Presgrove publicly called Avery Jo Combs a nasty bitch on her birthday in front of people and it was really embarrassing and it annoyed her, then how come Sunday morning they were all okay getting together and having breakfast like nothing went wrong? It would seem like maybe it flew over people's heads, but in the mind, subconsciously or so, with Avery, she was still thinking about it and binding her time to strike based off a theory, and that is all. Okay. Interesting. Number 6, Carter Combs started taking kids home all around the same time. All the kids seemed to leave before 3 in the morning on Monday, except the ones left and the Texas boys in question. So it's still about the Texas boys. Number 7, rumour. I think Caleb, Colton, Newton, brother to Jack, Travis. Who's Travis? Oh no, we're talking about Travis, the one that sues everyone left, right and centre. All came back or were waiting on Noah wherever this took place. Number 8, Oklahoma Highway Patrol is either incompetent or corrupt, one of the two. How did they not see this as a murder? Why haven't they interviewed 4 other kids from the party? Why did they not want to interview Caden Pressey or take his phone, especially since he was there after 3 in the morning? Caden Pressey had to beg for an interview. That's very strange to me. Interesting. You begging, here it is, here's full access, VIP, and the authority's like, no, we're okay. You don't want the truth. You don't want it accelerated. You don't want progression. No, we're okay as we are. Yeah, a little bit dodgy. So these are some new points which I've come across, especially the Sunday morning situation. It might make more sense now with Caden and reinforce what he's got to say, but as for everything that I've learned over time, it's kind of turned it upside down, and supposedly it was only just recently when the corrections were added in and made sense of. As said, things like this with language and wording, it can go a long way, and I guess through misinterpretation or lack of understanding at some point, the message, the timeline put across was kind of incorrect, and ever since it's supposedly been cleared up. Does anything really need changing or adjusting as for my timeline, my analysis on the projects? I don't think so. I think I missed out some of the timestamps, and to be honest, probably for good reason, under control, because if I laid it out perfectly and everything changed with time, I'd have to undo it all, edit it out, and it's too messy. That's why you just stick with the consistency, and anything that isn't consistent but up for discussion, you just leave it be and just see how things go. So from the looks of it, supposedly Noah Presgrove didn't leave the party on Saturday, even though that there was that argument. It was supposedly resolved and it wasn't that big of a deal, as Jack said himself, and that Noah only left the group of the party goers away from the party, which was at Warwicker gas station, breakfast time Sunday. After that, then Noah went back home, and then Jack wanted him back at the party later on and made the calls maybe around 5 p.m. And then in that process, that's when Mikey ended up being picked up as well, tagging along. Why did Mikey just suddenly turn up on the Sunday? Why not the Saturday or the Friday? Maybe busy. Could be an innocent thing like that. Who knows? And someone with PTSD and as Caden labelled mental issues, is it suitable for someone like that to be in a crowded area full of lots of people and noise? I guess it depends different types of PTSD and the different triggers, but still, there's certain triggers and it can set someone off. They could black out or bad things could happen. Who knows? Could it have caught up with Noah? I thought I'd just throw it out there because you talk about the psychological aspect, how it can backfire, the backlash behind it, the emotions, the reactions and responses, all worth still taking into mind, consideration. So a handful of stuff. I'll try and make the title as appropriate as necessary. And once again, just take in mind that this video was recorded earlier on in the day, UK time difference to the US. At the time of me making this video, or a bit earlier, it's probably morning time, people just about waking up in the US. So that once my video does premiere as a live premiere, by then there's a chance that the interview has come out by Partners in True Crime, but there's nothing I can do past that point. And it's a premiere for people later just because we've been busy throughout the day and just for the live experience. And if anything needs clearing up or adjusting, updating, I can always do it the next day. No harm, is there? So hopefully you found this video somewhat interesting. Anything eye-opening, share your reactions down below in the comment section. As for Jan, whilst posts have been deleted supposedly to do with the offer thing, her original post of describing herself, her background, her aim, her means, how she's been attacked, that's public. Kind of interesting, isn't it? So not everything has been deleted as it's been claimed. So we'll leave it there for now. We'll see what's around the corner, but thanks for watching. Feel free to catch up on the previous videos where the eye symbol is. Click there, and that's it. Goodbye, good night for now.